and hell, if we are only limited ourselves to heaven and hell also, then none of the property which you have gained or anything which you have done for materialistic benefit will decide whether you are going to go to hell or heaven. What will decide is this adrusha karma. You might have done a lot of work for someone and he must have given backfired you, but you have got adrusha karma, good karma. And you might have done a lot of good surgery, but it has not a good intent, and it's shown a very good results. But it was not like kidney transplant, where it was not required. But the person has already shown a good result. Everyone is happy, but it was not ethical, and that's why people are getting caught. So adrusha karma will not be seen. So as a karma yogi, I am not interested in any materialistic good. That you should understand. So no with artistic and no with tamas. So and the karmi is consuming more always. He wants more for him, his family, or him. It is I, and mine. But as karma yogi is only contributing, whether he is getting, gaining, not gaining. Sometimes they are also not looking for the family. Also, sometimes it happens. You see the karma yogis. Artha kama is the only alignment for a karmi. Artha and kama, needs and fulfilling the needs or even desires, fulfilling them. That is a karmi. Here, artha kama is aligned to dharma. Means if I want to fulfill my needs, but whether it is legitimate, whether I can, according to Shastra, whether I can take. I don't want to grab someone's land and then build my house. But a karmi will never think that. He will hook or crook, he will do whatever is required, because we see people, no, they will make sure by law, bending the rules also, they will take your land. So in the society, he will see as a karmi, not a karma yogi. Then he is always moving away from spiritual path. He is indulging in so much of materialistic benefits and gains, and his thoughts are always aligned non-dharmic, like a Duryodhana. He was also in the same clan, he was in the same place he has gone, like other Pandavas, from the same lineage.
Same families.
But because of his action, he became a karmi and he is away from spiritual path. He did not select Krishna. He selected the materialistic thing, the big armies. And a karma yogi always will follow spiritual path. Whatever may come, he will follow this path, because his goal in mind, in beginning only, is moksha. Now, karmi always working and looks like working is a thick of an action. Whereas a karma yogi, you may not see him also working. You can see people around. Some people will be only worry. You can see them only working like, but some people effortlessly they are.
Think of things.
Thick of things. Means thick of things is always in middle of action. Yes. Not drama. Maybe he is active, and but yeah. But a real karma yogi, he will be doing work. People may not know. Yeah, because he is always thinking about others. No, when you plan for others, we will be very planful and actful. These are only few differences which I could give. There are many differences. I think next time I'll add when a karma should be done and what a karma in sannyasa and in grahastha ashram. There are different ways to deal with. In grahastha, we do more of a materialistic action, whereas in sannyasa, you are doing karma but with fulfillment. When someone is doing some act with fulfillment, out of fulfillment, it is without any expectation. Whether when someone is doing with expectations, then it is, even though you are fulfilled, you will require some expectations are there, something you want in return. So next talk I will talk about how is differential between a karma in sannyasa yoga and grahastha. We are all grahasthas, but how to march to sannyasa? Yeah, someone read it.
Karma yoga is incomplete without jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is impossible without karma yoga.
Like that consciousness, We will change this now. Because consciousness we have heard for 9 months. Next is Karma Yoga this is our thought for the next few months till third chapter.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Nahi Kashichanam Api. Jadu Vishaya Karma Kritu. Karyate Hayavash Karma. Sarva Prakata Jai Gunaihi. So meaning, indeed, no one can ever remain without action, even for a moment, because everyone is helplessly made to do action by the gunas born of Prakriti. Shanam api akramakrit na distati. That means a person cannot remain actionless even for a moment. If I will be doing some action without our knowledge. Helplessly we are doing that. Giving up physical action is easy. But okay, but mind being calm is impossible. So in that time, the namas nama meditation பண்ணும்போது கூட நம்ம நாக்குல நம்ம வந்து சிவாய நம இல்ல நாமா அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கோம். அதை கூட அந்த ருத்ராட்சமும் பண்ணிடுவோம். பட் மைண்ட்ல அதெல்லாம் இருக்கான்னு தெரியாது. இட் வில் பி ரோமிங் அரவுண்ட் ஆல் தி வேர்ல்ட் அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ நோபடி கேன் நாட் ஸ்டாப் திங்கிங். நெக்ஸ்ட். ஸோ பிரகிருதி ஜெயகி குணைகி காரியத்தே. Prakriti or Maya is the basic cause of the creation. Maya has three gunas, therefore these three gunas pervade the creation. நம்ம எல்லாருமே தெரியும், நம்ம படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கோம் தாமச, ராஜசம் அண்ட் சாத்விகம். இப்ப நம்ம ஒரு கோல்டு நம்ம வெறும் பியூர் கோல்டு வச்சு நம்ம ஆர்னமெண்ட் அழகா பண்ண முடியாது நிச்சயமா. அதுல இம்பியூரிட்டிஸ் இருந்தாதான் கொஞ்சம் நம்ம வளர்ச்சி எல்லாம் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ அந்த இம்பியூரிட்டிஸ் நம்ம ஜாயின் பண்றது அந்த ஆர்னமெண்ட்லயும் பிரதிபலிக்கும். So impurities in gold will be reflected in the ornaments. Next. Karya Karana Guna, the cause will be there in effect also. Maya has got three gunas, whole creation has got three gunas. A Satha Pradhana will be Satha Guna. So Raja Pradhana will be a Raja Guna. Tama Pradhana will be a Tama Guna. Humans are governed by these three gunas. இப்ப நம்ம ஹெரிடிட்டியா we are seeing that அப்பாவோட ஹேர் இருக்கு, மூக்கு இருக்கு அப்படிலாம் சொல்ற மாதிரி ஈவன் டிசீஸ் ஆல்சோ ஹெரிடிட்டிக்கா நம்ம வரலாம். இந்த ட்ரைஸ் ஆஃப் பேரண்ட்ஸ் வில் பி தேர் இன் சில்ட்ரன். அதே மாதிரி நான் என்ன நினைச்சுக்கிறேன், பூர்வ ஜென்மத்துக்கு நம்ம என்னென்ன பண்ணிருக்கோமோ அந்த காரணத்துக்கு பிரகாரம் நம்மளுடைய குணங்களும் இந்த ஜென்மால அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி ஆக்ஷன் இருந்துகிட்டே தான் இருக்கும். அதை தடுக்க முடியாது. பட் அவர்ஷ காரியத்தை helplessly pushed into one activity or other. Not stopping the action, but Arjuna என்ன சொல்றாரு, கிருஷ்ணா என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, don't stop the action. Our aim is directing the action. அதை ஒரு சேனலைஸ் பண்ணி, நீ இப்போ உன்னுடைய வேலை வந்து இப்ப இதுல தர்மத்துக்காக நீ போராடணும் அப்படிங்கும் போது யூ சேனலைஸ். நீ இந்த கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்றதெல்லாம் விட்டுடு. உன்னுடைய தர்மம் என்ன, நீ இப்போ ஃபைட் பண்ணி அந்த தர்மத்தை நிலைநாட்டணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக அந்த ஆக்ஷனை யூ டோன்ட் ஸ்டாப் இட். அப்புறம் வேதாந்திக் மெடிடேஷன் இஸ் நாட் ஸ்டாப்பிங் த தாட். எல்லாரும் நம்ம குரு டக்குனு இந்த தாட் எல்லாம் நிறுத்தணும்னு நினைக்காதீங்க. நாட் ஸ்டில்லிங் த மைண்ட், பட் அகெயின் டைரக்டிங் த மைண்ட். உங்க மைண்டை டைரக்ட் பண்ணுங்க, சேனலைஸ் பண்ணுங்க, ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. ரொம்ப வாண்டரிங்கா இருந்ததுன்னா slowly we can reduce and direct ourselves to ஞானம் as well as நம்ம மோட்சா போறதுக்கும் it will help us. If you are trying to give up actions, என்ன நடக்கும் அப்படின்னா, wherever you go, you will start fresh action. Actually, இப்ப நம்ம உனக்கு ராஜசபனம் இருந்தது அப்படின்னா you became a சன்னியாசி. நம்ம இதெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டு சன்னியாசியா போயிட்டோம். and you are going to Rishikesh for example. If leadership qualities are there, you will form a sannyasi also. நம்ம மைண்ட் அதுல போகலாம். அதுக்காக நம்ம கொஞ்சம் நம்ம யோகா கர்ம யோகாலாம் பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்லோலி நம்ம மைண்டை மேக்கப் பண்ணிட்டு தான் அதுக்கு மேல போகணும். If you are a commercial minded person, you will start a Rudraksha business. So நம்ம உடனே ருத்ராட்ச பிசினஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு நம்ம அதுல போக ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். இதை ஒழுங்கா பண்ணாம போனா. You could even fight with the government for a separate land for sannyasi. நம்ம போனா அது போயிடும் அந்த மாதிரி. So in sannyasa, occurrence will be there, but no peace of mind if the actions are not mastered. So இதெல்லாம் மாஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டு தான் நம்ம சன்னியாசிக்கு நம்ம போகணும், அந்த மோட்சத்துக்கு நம்ம போகணுங்கிறதான் கிருஷ்ணனோட உபதேசம் அர்ஜுனனுக்கு. So don't give up. By giving up action, you do not get moksha. That's main aim. So slowly we change. அப்படியே நம்ம regularize பண்ணி, channelize பண்ணி, we can attain that. Argument two, you cannot give up action. என்ன இருந்தாலுமே ஒன்னால you cannot give up. You can reduce, remodel பண்ணி, channelize பண்ணி, you can attain the goal. The Hari.
Like the joke about that's an example of gold for
gold. So impurities and the gold and ornament இருக்கும். So நம்ம பூர்வ ஜென்மம் பண்ண பாவம் கொஞ்சம் ஏதாவது இருந்ததுன்னா it will come. But slowly நம்ம இதெல்லாம் regularize பண்ணணும், channelize பண்ணி, reduce பண்ணி, அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா நம்ம கர்மயோகா பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் we will go to others superior.
Like,
நம்ம குணாஸ் இருக்கிறது இருக்கு, நம்ம we have to.
So why it is given? Because if you have parents who are, you are inheriting the properties, so that is like gold. But the impurity is like genetically they will have some problems that you don't want to inherit. They will have hypertension, diabetes, type 1, or some genetic traits, Alzheimer's, which you don't want to inherit, but you have to inherit. So good and bad, impurities and gold, pure gold has to be inherited. So when this Srishti happened, this creation, when God made humans or the beings, then he has made with something, right? That is Maya. So Maya Shakti's main important is action. Otherwise Brahman was still. The ocean when it's still, that is Brahman. The waves is because of Maya action. So we all, even if you want to stop all the action, we can't stop breathing. Right? We have to breathe. That action, one action, even in the sleep also you're doing. Your mind might also be calmed down. But breathing, heartbeat cannot be stopped. So that is because of Maya Shakti. So that is inherited from Maya. Similarly, multiple things from Maya has been inherited. One of them is your vasanas, desires. So that's what is saying. Restrain this, channelize this. You know, you might know that if you are inheriting some qualities of your parents, you can channelize it for better. That's what it is.
Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyatan vimudatma vidyachara sanchyate. Having restrained the sense organs of action, that deluded person who remains dwelling on the sense objects mentally is called a hypocrite. That a person can fully dedicate himself to Vedanta only when he has transcended the worldly pursuits or worldly needs. அதாவது நம்ம எப்போ ஒரு பர்சன் வேதாந்தாக்குள்ள போலாம்னா அர்ஜுனா கேட்கும் போது கிருஷ்ணா கொடுக்குற தேர்ட் ஆர்குமெண்ட் இது. என்ன ஆர்குமெண்ட்? வாட் இஸ் த ஆர்குமெண்ட்? தட் நீ எப்படி ஒரு வேர்லி பிளஷர்ல இருந்து டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகி வேதாந்தாக்குள்ள போக முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான ஸ்டெப் பை ஸ்டெப் இதுதான் இது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்மளோட பேசிக்கல் சர்வைவல் நீட்ஸ், அதாவது ஃபுட் அண்ட் க்ளோத்திங், அது மீட் பண்ணோமே. The third thing a human needs is entertainment. He needs entertainment. Then the next thing he looks forward is to be wanted. When you're sick, you expect someone to take care of you. And then you want someone to show love towards you, someone to care for you. So to be wanted. அடுத்தது human mind needs, and the first thing he asked, human mind asks for is self-respect. Then for a society, something you do for a society, you expect something back from the society. எப்படி in the name of உங்க பேர் வந்து you want your name written big on the tube light, where part the tube light will be your name written on it. So you expect something back from the society and then want it to be respected. So you give to the society. So what is the thing you expect in return? திரும்பி எனக்கு ஒரு ரெஸ்பெக்ட் கொடுக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க. Then needs for recognition and accomplishment. Respect மட்டும் கொடுத்தா பரவாயில்லை. You need recognition. அதாவது நீங்க என்ன பண்ணாலும் ஒரு முதல் மரியாதை, ஒரு விஐபி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட், யூ எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் எவ்ரி திங். அது வந்து சொசைட்டிக்குள்ள மட்டும் இருக்கிறதுல, even with your family and your children, you start expecting them to reciprocate the things you've done for them. So ego must ripen before the ego falls. Ego கீழே விழுகணும்னா அது எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்து ஒரு ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் மைண்ட், we should be in a state of mind. அது ரைப் ஆகணும், அப்பதான் ego will fall. அடுத்தது ripening of ego and growth of ego takes place only in the society. நம்ம சொசைட்டில வாழும் போதுதான் ego வந்து grow ஆகும், அது ரைப் ஆகும் and அது fall ஆகும். So இது வந்து ஒன் மார்க் தான். லைக் ஆல் 4 ஆசிரமம் வந்து நம்ம தாண்டி போயிட்டு திருப்பி we cannot come back or we cannot jump. When and the 4 stages in ashramas and life ஒன்னொன்னா when we follow தான் வந்து கடைசியா ஞான யோகா and சந்நியாசாங்கிறது ஒரு மீனிங்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். Brahmacharya to grihastha is possible, but a grihastha cannot become a brahmachari. Grihastha can become a sannyasi, but a sannyasi cannot become a grihastha cannot become a sannyasi. So it is sannyasi cannot become a grihastha. Sannyasi cannot become a grihastha. Sorry. Grihastha can become a sannyasi, but a sannyasi cannot become a grihastha. So it's only a one-way marker where all 4 stages in life you have to cross. Sannyasa in life, that is learning to be self-sufficient physically and psychologically. அதாவது ஒரு சந்நியாசா லைஃப்ல எப்படி இருக்கணும்னா, you should be self-sufficient both physically and psychologically. Ego should be mature. Mind is not ready for sannyasa. You can have a double life. எப்படின்னா ego, when you have an ego, a simple ego or fight with your family, you think that you want to go become a sannyasa. And simply morning or coffee will serve on a late action, now you think I want to become a sannyasa and you go to Haridwar or Varanasi and become a sannyasa. But one day will be nice, second day will be nice. But on a following days, your thoughts will be around your family and you think you will be cared better and you'll have a very nice life there rather than being sannyasi. So you have a double life. Then detachment is external. இப்ப கூட வந்து only externally you show that you wear an orange robe, ochre robe and sannyasi. But internally, your thoughts are always around the grihastha life. Mentally not prepared, then he may give up sannyasa to sannyasa. Some people, after a month or so, they say, oh, this sannyasa life I cannot live, I want to go back to grihastha, and they might return back to grihastha until you actually don't know what happens. Arjuna, it is risky to skip grihastha ashram and going straight away to sannyasa ashram. So Krishna says, it is very risky, so don't skip the grihastha ashram. And then next step, what happens is an idle mind is an ideal devil's workshop. See, you become a jnana yogi without any knowledge or self-knowledge, and what happens? Your mind is an idle mind. So no responsibilities, no goals in life, no plan, and your mind is idle. A jnani without atma jnanam is a person without knowledge. All suppressed desires come up and his mind gets deranged. So when you become a sannyasi, you don't have anything to do. So you'll be sitting idle. So all the suppressed thoughts will naturally show up. Suppressing the desire is not asked by Vedanta. We should grow out of worldly desires. That is what vairagyam is. That is, we should not suppress. So I need to suppress. You have to master it. And you have to master it. Either ways, you have to master it. Karmendriyani samyamya. Sannyasi has worn ochre robe, but he physically withdraws sense pleasure, but mentally still dwelling on it. He's cheating the world as well as himself. The society alone thinks that he is in meditation, but he alone knows what he is meditating upon. Dress and atmosphere indicates he lives in ashram, but he is mentally living a grihastha life. The above person is a deluded person, a split personality, and a confused personality. இப்போ ஒரு fish aquariumல போய் ஒரு particular type of fish விட்டீங்கன்னா what it will do, its job is to clean the fish tank. என்ன garbage இருந்தாலும் to clean the fish tank. அந்த மாதிரி தான் you wear an yellow ochre, you stay, the place you are staying is the ashram, but internally your thoughts are not purified, or you are not, so you don't have that self-knowledge to become a jnani. So the above person is a deluded person, a split personality, and a confused personality. So the argument one was, by giving up actions, you not get moksha or peace. The argument two, you cannot give up action. Now the third argument is, inaction is dangerous. Taking up sannyasa without going through grihastha is not advisable. So from the next verse onwards, Krishna talks about karma yoga. Hari Om.
Action, inaction.
Think of active life starts from next verse. Action, inaction. That's the argument today.
Yes, Vrindyani Manasa. Yes, Vrindyani Manasa. Niyamya Rabate Juna. Niyamya Rabate Juna. Karmendriyai Karma Yogam. Karmendriyai Karma Yogam. Asaktaha sa vishishyate. Asaktaha sa vishishyate. Here he's actually talking about he's talking about the greatness of grahasthaashrama. அதாவது எல்லா இப்படி விட grahasthaashrama இருக்கிறதுதான் best அப்படின்னு. ஏன்னா you can do both things, like you can also enjoy all the sensory pleasures or in limitation. That is a big clause over there. நீங்க எல்லாம் enjoy பண்ணுங்க, but எல்லாமே limitation இருக்குன்னா அதே சமயத்துல detachment ஓட. And you can also do karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Without expecting any returns. Doing service without any return and without again attachment. Detachment is the main focus of it. So according to Krishna, grahasthaashrama is the best because it has scope for contribution to society and also for the fulfillment of artha kama desires. So like see, what is artha kama is money, things. In grahasthama, it's not like idella enjoy pannakoodadnu kedaiyadhu. A limited amount of money vechikalam, you can ask for house, you can ask for status, you can fight for your job, you can work and get fulfillment from your job. All that is possible. அதுதான் இந்திரியாணி மனச நியமியா அப்படின்னா எல்லாமே டிசைர் எல்லாம் ஃபுல்ஃபில் பண்ணுங்க, பட் அதெல்லாம் செகண்டரி. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிட்டாச்மெண்ட் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ லிமிடேஷன், ரெகுலேஷன் இன் எவ்ரிதிங். இப்படியே இன்டர்ஜ் பண்ணி எனக்கு பணம் வேணும் வேணும்ன்ற பின்னாடி விடாம இவ்வளவு இருக்கிறது போதும் அப்படின்ட்டு நெக்ஸ்ட். See, for example, earning by moral means truthfulness and integrity in profession. இதெல்லாம் these are the clauses again. இல்ல பணம் சம்பாதிங்க, பட் கரெக்ட் மெத்தட்ல சம்பாதிங்க, உண்மையா இருங்க, to be loyal to your spouse. All these dharma, following the dharma is also very essential. A person should not go overboard in the fulfillment of desire. That's another thing. Okay. You shouldn't go overboard. அதாவது அதே நினைச்சிட்டு you shouldn't be behind money or your desires, or you shouldn't get overwhelmed by all that. Artha means attachment, again detachment. He is reiterating this, okay? Detachment. Why? Because when you're so attached, you should always have in mind that Yama is going to come. One day you love your spouse so much, but he's going to go. You have to be aware of that. Well, like so many times have you heard people say, திடீர்னு இறந்துட்டாரு, நான் எக்ஸ்பெக்டே பண்ணல. எங்க தாத்தா 90 வயசு இறந்தப்ப என் பாட்டுங்க நினைச்சே பாப்பி இப்படி போவாரு, அவன் 90 வயசு. பட் ஐ மீன் even as a child I was wondering, 90 வயசுல சாகாம பண்ணி இப்ப எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணலன்னு சொல்றாங்களே அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி. So again, see, when you are attached to all your wealth and all that, you're going to go away அப்படிங்கிறது நமக்கு ஞாபகமே இருக்கிறது. And again, he's talking very, I mean, here it speaks about sannyasa as an escapism when you're not mentally mature. Only when you have the maturity, you should accept sannyasa. Why? Because if you're not mature, you can't understand Vedanta deeply, and you can't appreciate that also. Plus, you're always thinking of grahastha and you want to enjoy the pleasures of life. So either way, you're suffering. You're pretending to be something, you're suffering. I think my understanding. If anybody has, do you think it's correct?
Excellent, excellent. So, see, the only culture or only Sanatana Dharma is talking about is 4 ashrams. If you take any other place, it's not talking about this. They only talk about adolescence, child, and something. But very clearly, this ashrama is told by Lord in Vedas, so many thousands and thousands years of that. So, looking at a movie, if you you see that the climax is shown before and then the beginning of the movie, the hero enters in the end. Do you think it will be good? That movie will not work. So, our life journey should also be like a movie. The first is your entry into the life as a brahmachari, where you consume more, you're dependent on the parents, you're dependent on the society. Then the real hero comes, you're ardent and you have everything to do. You have the vigor, you have every potential to become a big person. But slowly you fade into after the interval, like, the Vanaprastha ashrama, where you have now chance to give back to society in a long, bigger way. Finally, coming to the climax is sannyasa, where only you are concerned about getting moksha. The climax is moksha. You get free, liberated. If this movie runs in correct order, then it's a hit. Otherwise, it's the other way hit. You have to come back, start again. Again, God will give you the chance. So beautifully, our Varnashrama is given. The dharma in each ashrama is given. How to do the karma in each ashrama are given. So this is a very important verse. If you juggle, if you confuse yourself in this, how many of us knew these ashramas exist before this class? So now that we know, can we not juggle and can we go? Don't have a chance to go to brahmacharya 100%. As she said, from grahastha you go to sannyasa, but from grahastha you don't go to brahmacharya. So we cannot juggle now. We know our movie is going to play next is Vanaprastha. And as she was telling something 92, some neural, whatever, 90s, she says, Party says, I never expected grandfather will die. She never expected what should be expected. Other than that, she expected everything from the relatives, from the husband, from everything she expected, which should not be expected. But the real expectation that death is going to come, we don't do that. So we also are like a party. We are thinking that cannot happen to me. It will never happen to me. Not about death alone. My job, security in my job, my family. See, I don't say suicide or accident. You cannot expect accident suicide. But can we expect that I'm going to be older? My legs are going to pain. I am going to be senile, where my dementia might set earlier than what my parents are setting. If that can be expected, then you live without expectations. Swami, Dr. Hegde says.
But doctor, what happens when that becomes an obsession?
Means?
I'm going to grow old, I'm going to die, I'm going to become, that becomes an obsession sometimes.
So it should not be anything, should be samatvam. Your indriya should be in samyamya. It should be in balance. That should be, you expect too much also is not good. Not at all expecting is also not good. In the back of mind, I'm going to be growing old. I'm not just going to gray and go. I'm going to mature. That's what was said, no? Maturing to your ego. That's why that ego is given to you. Fulfill your desires. Because without an ego, you cannot come to the class also. Without an ego, you cannot do your duties also. Because I'm a mother, that ego of mother is there. That's why I'm taking care of my children, right? That's why you're taking care of your children. Otherwise, ego is not there. You will go around everywhere and you become mother for everyone. No one will accept you. By what I was talking about. I was talking about something, the ashrama. Yeah. So, Swamiji, our sir says, as a grahastha, if you practice being a vanaprastha, What does it mean is, if you go home and you try to be a guest, Vanaprastha is what? Guest only. If you go and sit and your wife or your spouse has given something, you say very good. And you don't say, you don't, even they ask, how was it? Before finishing the sentence, very, very good. And should I repeat? If you don't want also, please give it. And if there is something going on, talking there, you as a guest, even they're fighting or they're talking about you, you will ignore, no? So can you become like a guest? If you try to command as a guest, they will say, get lost from my house. So Vanaprastha is that ashrama where you guest in your own home and you see the changes. First, they will ignore you, but slowly they will come and ask, tell me what I should do right now. So that's what Venkateswar says.
It's a very valid point. Because we scold our husband because we think they're part of us. It doesn't matter. He will take bullshit from us.
Taking it for granted.
Yeah, taking it for granted.
So can you be
It's a very
guest?
good point.
No, that is point of Venkateswar. Because I also asked this, sir, everything Vedanta is very good in the class. When I go home, finished. Vedanta is chappal ke saath bahar hi hai. So how do I, he said, be a guest in your home and you see the change. That is Vanaprastha.
Then pretending also. Sir, pretending also.
Always you fake it before you make it. Okay, next person. Yes.
Verses 3.8. Niyatam Guru Karmatam
Niyatam Guru Karmatam
Karmajayoga Karmanah
Karmajayoga Karmanah
Sharira Yatra Pichate Naprasiddhe Kada Karmanah Perform the obligatory actions. For action is superior to inaction. From inaction, that is with inaction, even the maintenance of the body would not be possible for you. Actually, in this chapter, Karma Yoga, the actual portion of Karma Yoga is discussed from 3.8 to 3.20. So I just thought I'll make an introduction of Karma Yoga. Some points have already been covered. Karma Yoga can be divided into two, that is Karma and Yoga. Karma means proper action and Yoga is proper attitude. The types of karma which we have already learned in 17th chapter.
Now you understood. Karma is proper action. So action when is proper means sattvic. Yoga means proper attitude. The results of the action, how you receive it. Together, karma yogi, understand this. Karmi, only half of it. Means he only understands the action part and he takes accordingly to his understanding. Now you got it?
Now, the three types of karma we have already studied in chapter 17, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. In this verse, Swamiji explains in all these headings, so I just wanted to explain. Sattvic karma is Uttama karma, the best. In this, more people are benefited. More people in the society and around that person are benefited. That person will be of a generous character and his spiritual progress will be maximum and very fast. So this type of karma is to be followed. Rajasic karma is Madhyama karma. It is average. These people, their actions will benefit only a limited number of people. They are in general of a selfish character and their spiritual progress will be there, but it will be very slow or limited. And this karma, if we are doing, we are supposed to reduce it and try to follow a more sattvic actions. Tamasic karma or adama karma, in this, the person does actions in which people are harmed. He has a bad or a harmful intent, and his spiritual progress is negative, or he will have no progress at all. This karma is to be avoided at all circumstances. So coming to Satvika karma, which we are supposed to follow by scriptures, Nishkama karma. This is to be followed by a karma yogi. The scriptures prescribe the Pancha Mahayajna to be followed.
That is Deva Yajna, to venerate our gods. Pitru Yajna or ancestors. Rishi or Brahma Yajna is scriptures and rishis. Manushya or Atiti Yajna is for other human beings. And Bhuta Yajna is other living things, the environment. So the ideal thing is karma is to do our duty in all ways. Humans have been given free will by God. We are the only living things who can choose to do action. That is, Pannalama, Vendama. Pannanu. We should always do our actions and do them in the proper manner. Proper manner will be to the best that we can and in such a way that we don't harm anyone. So coming to the different Panchamahayajna, first is Deva Yajna. Swamiji says every day, Swamiji, the Bhagavad Gita also says, every day we should allot at least 5 minutes for prayer. It could be just prayer, it could be rituals, homam, whatever, but specific time to be allotted for prayer. Swamiji says in the book, someone asked him, I'm busy, I'm traveling, can I travel and pray at the same time? So ideally, no, but at least do that. Pitru Yajna is every day we should think of and pray towards our ancestors. It is they who have given us what we are now. So we should always remember them and pray to them. Next is Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna. That is, every day we should allot time to read our scriptures, meditate on them, think about them, and also pray to the Gurus. For us, Swami Paramatmananda and Swami Chinmayananda. Next is Manushya Yajna or Atiti Yajna. That is service to the humans in our society. Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. We can contribute in any way to our society. Food, money, clothes, our time, just a smile is enough to help our people around us. Next is Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna is to the environment, not just animals, birds, but also our plants. We can look after the animals around us, give food for the cows, dogs, birds. We can look after the plants and trees in our environment. And Swamiji also mentioned that in those days, each god had a vahana. They were all animals and birds. And in this way, we learn to
Those days?
respect. I mean, sorry, sir. It was started like that. Sorry. So it was like that, even the snake was respected and prayed to, even the crow was prayed to. Everyone has a place and everyone has to be respected and looked after. So Bhuta Yajna involves in looking after the environment. And the other thing is all these yajnas are compulsory and practiced every day. One yajna cannot be replaced or compensated with another one. You can't say, I pray for 2 hours, I won't do the other yajnas. Ideally, do everything every day. So we finish with the proper way of action. Coming to proper yoga or the right attitude. We divide it into two, Ishwararpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. Ishwararpana Buddhi is any action that we do, we are devoting it to God. We are giving it as an offering to God. And whatever we get from those actions is a prasad. So this will lead to a samatvam or a balanced and a harmonious mind. If we can follow this, practically we can, like we do our action to our utmost satisfaction, you're happy with that. And whatever you get, you're not bothered because it is given to you by God. Ishwararpana Buddhi is, do every action as an offering to the Lord. You may be a doctor, you may be a student, a cook, a painter, a sweeper, whatever you do. Don't think whether it is right or wrong. Don't think whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. Just do it best. Give it your 100% effort and do it. This slokam is at the end of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyanava pratyesva sakalam parasmai narayanam samarpayami. whatever action I perform with my body, whatever I speak and whatever I think, whatever my senses and my thoughts prompt me to do, and whatever I do because it is innate to my nature, all these actions I dedicate to Thee, the merciful Lord. So whatever we do, it is a offering to God. And Chinamanda says, do your karma with a smile, utsa, and whatever you do will be pleasantful. And prasada buddhi is the next aspect. Oh Lord, give me the strength to accept, and this acceptance of the result without any resistance. I should say, I should have gotten a little more respect. I should have gotten a little more money. People should have recognized me a little more. Don't resist what is given to you, just accept it. Never expect certain results. Our actions are only contributory factors, never the sole determining factor. Earlier also we studied this. Just to come to class, it is not only our intention to come. I may get ready, leave the house. My car may have been taken by someone else. There may be a patient in the hospital. It might be raining. I might not find my slippers also. But there are so many contributory factors for me wanting so much to come to class. So our action is only contributory, but it has to be done. If you avoid that action, you don't know how things fall into place. You can't say, if I don't do this, so what? You have to do your action, and there are other things also which are contributing to it. So hope for the best and be ready for the worst. So Karma Yoga, these are the verses that we have already studied, 2.47 and 2.48. We've discussed it many times. This was the introduction to Karma Yoga given in the second chapter. Now we are going to this was the verse, today's verse. Akarmana karma jaya. So Archana, action is always superior to inaction. One who has got a mature mind, this is an example. If someone has got a mature mind and he is in a place, a very peaceful place, he enjoys his solitude, he calls it aloneness. But the other person is not prepared to sit quietly in inaction. He thinks he's very lonely in that state. And an ideal mind is a devil's workshop. Again, it's not going to help you in any way. Instead, you can do your action and be peaceful. Akarmana sharirayatra Ichate na prasatyate. If you resort to inaction, even living in the world will become impossible. A person may say, I'm very rich, I'm very well off, I'm well settled in life. My ancestors have earned enough for me. I can live my life and few more generations can also live in the same way. If he sits like that also, he's not going to look after his health. He's going to become sick with all the medical conditions. And he may not be even able to safeguard his possessions and his wealth. So only if we work, only if we do what we have to do, even our living will become comfortable.
1 minute, I'm just going to interrupt you. What is this? Ramana Maharishi says Sumayu. Yeah. You understand?
Maybe don't disturb others. Maybe don't disturb others.
That is Sumayu.
Maybe, I don't know. Even my mental action, maybe.
See, first of all, this we're talking about
Karma Yoga.
Grahastha. So
Grahastha.
this entire chapter is Karma
You
Yoga.
can't say Sumayu.
Sumayra, how is possible? Now we are talking about Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi is a jnani. So a jnani can Chumaira. He has to quieten his mind and he doesn't have to do any action because his food is being served to him as a bhiksha. So don't confuse between these two. Here, what she was talking the entire verse is about action is required for a grahastha.
Action is essential.
Even jnani also has to do action, but he doesn't do out of compulsion. He does out of fulfillment. But we are nowhere there now. We are grahastha. We are learning one step by step. So Chumaira is by Ramana Maharshi. He only said two things. Jnana, yeah.
Who am I?
And Chumaira. But that is when you go to that level.
After the ego is shed, and after that,
Maturity.
Long ego rises and falls.
So we take like this, sir. Do your action and no expectation.
Yeah. But if you go to
The
the,
process is what, like sir
Yes.
said, mature, shed your ego, and then tomorrow
Yes.
comes automatic.
otherwise ego will come back. Okay, next.
And here Krishna in this verse, he is actually strictly telling us. He's being quite severe in his advice. Niyatam karma kurutvam. You have to compulsorily do your actions. There is no escape. You have to compulsorily contribute to society at 5 levels. Krishna calls this as a niyatam karma. It has to be done underline. If you do not contribute at these 5 levels, you will incur pratyavaya papam, which means you are spiritually falling down and you are getting more and more away from moksha. So actually, Krishna is saying it in a very strict way, in a threatening way, do your action. Valid barrier. Hari.
We stop here. Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.